Okay, guys, so here we go. This is the big kind of PySide2uic part. In the last video, if you didn't watch it, we've set up just Eclipse with PyDev. So we've got an environment working with Python 3.7.8, um, and yeah, we printed back "Hello World." It's in the console. We know everything's kind of running. So now let's actually get down to actually getting PySide2uic working. Now, I'm sure a lot of people out there that are already kind of looking at this video for this problem have got PySide2 installed. But as I said before, this is a fresh install of Eclipse and everything, and also Python. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pip install, PySide2, right? So yeah, we're just going to come to our preferences. We're going to come down to our interpreters, our Python, and we are just going to start to pip install PySide2. Now, essentially, what pip installing does is it basically goes and finds in a repository all the files that you're going to need in order to work with PySide2, for example. It will download all of that stuff and it'll basically make it available to you for import statements, packages, and stuff like that, and actually working with the modules. It's really nice. I really enjoy it. I've probably not done a very good job of explaining it there, but the way that the simplest way I can say is it's an installer, right? So yeah, we are going to install PySide2, and I'm just going to hit run on that, and then we are going to let it do its thing. And you can see there that it's collecting PySide2, 141 meg, and it's going to go through the installation of PySide2 now, which is sweet. I've seen a few comments online as well about like having to have PySide in lowercase or uppercase this, lowercase that, and some of it's depreciated, some of it isn't. I just do PySide with the P and the S capitalized. Uh, I'm sure that does change something at the back end. I'm sure that does kind of pull some different files or something, but more importantly, this is just my way of showing you how I get PySide2uic to work. So therefore, if you do have a problem with it and you can't get it to work, following this should kind of help you to get that stuff working. It's also worth noting that I'm not some kind of wizard in Python or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully this kind of gives you a bit of a simple step-by-step as to how to go through it. And it's going to be a little slow and a little bit clunky, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, and we've successfully installed PySide2, which is awesome. We can do a close there. We can do an apply and close there. We saw the packages just quickly show up. And again, just a bit of a sanity check here. Let's just import PySide2. Cool. Let's run this and make sure that everything's going to work. And didn't bring back any errors or anything like that. It just says that the import statement of PySide2 is unused at this point. So yeah, let's actually show the highlight of the problem here. So if you're making UIs and you want to actually get that XML from the .ui file and create a .py file out of it, so you can actually call it and class it and actually do something with it. You have to use something called PySide2 UIC, which is, as far as I can ascertain, PySide2 UI compile. And you can see here that if we try and run this, we have an error. You see, there's no module named PySide2. Now, if I were to go into my directory where my Python installation is, and again, we'll just do that sneaky little app data on top of that. We'll go to local. We will go to where did I go again? Was it packages? And then no, it wasn't packages. Every single time. Programs, sorry, programs, Python, Python 3.7. And if we go to the libraries here and we go to the site packages, you'll see that we've got PySide installed here. We've got Shaboken that said it was installed, but we don't have any kind of reference to PySide2uic at all. It's just not here. And this is just from a standard installation of PySide2, right? I've seen some people try and do like PySide2 tools in the pip installer, and that never quite worked for me. So this is something that I do in order to get PySide2 UIC working. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to go to Chrome here, and we're going to find the PySide2 UIC files on GitHub essentially. So if we just type in PySide2 UIC GitHub, I believe it's the, is it the first one? It might be the first one. I'll just have a quick check through these. Yeah, it is. So we've got PySide2 UIC right there, okay? Now, normally what I like to do is, if I come to code here and I just go to download zip, just means that you can download this entire thing and it goes into your downloads folder. We're going to go to that right now. So I'll keep this open just in case, well, I will need it in a second, but I'll keep that open for the moment. And then we will go to downloads, we will go to PySide2, and we will just go extract all. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So we'll extract here. We can essentially delete out the rest of the stuff after the fact. We don't really need to do anything with that stuff. And then, yeah, we can come into PySide2 UIC here, and we're going to copy this, and we're going to put this into our site packages right here. Okay, so that's just a straight copy of PySide2 UIC. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is we're just going to incrementally go through this and just consistently try and keep doing these import statements. And sometimes you'll find that, like, okay, we've got, you know, PySide2 UIC is kind of working there now. It's kind of found it. It still says that it's a, you know, it's a unused and unresolved import. But I find that normally restarting Eclipse kind of gets around this. But this is where the issue comes in again. So, you know, it's technically it's technically getting around PySide2 UIC. It's actually bringing it in, and what you can see is, at least I think it would be the same in this. Yes, it is. So we'll come through this step by step. So now let's just say I want to call the compileUI function from PySide2 UIC, right? You know, I can put in PySide2.uic, and I can do dot, and then I can do compileUI, okay? And it even kind of found it there as a call, but it should happen that when I go to click this now, okay, it has an issue, and that issue isn't something to do with compileUI itself or arguments. It's about not being able to find compileUI whatsoever, okay? Now, this confused the hell out of me for a little while because, you know, it's saying that PySide2 UIC has been, you know, imported. It's there. You know, we have this error or whatnot that's on that line, but, you know, it's not necessarily throwing up anything from the hello world point of view. It's not throwing up an error about the import itself. So this is what I found. Here's the fix, and I don't quite know why it comes down like this from Git, but here's the fix, and here's what gets around it. So we're going to go back to lib. We're going to go to site packages. We are going to go to PySide2 UIC, and all we're going to do is get rid of the .1 after PySide UIC. Yep, we're fine with that. And we're going to get rid of the .in after the init.py. Okay, we're going to do that. There we go. We're going to minimize that. You know what we'll do here? We'll save it, okay, and then we'll restart up Eclipse. Okay. Okay, so Eclipse is loaded back up now. We've still got that error on that line 7 of the PySide2 UIC. And this may or may not work at this point. Okay, so it can't find compile UI again. We're just going to double check that this is all kind of where it is. And you can see as well, it's also created a PyCache for all of this, which is cool. So what the problem is at this point is probably something down to our system variables. So, sorry, our environment variables. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down here and I'm just going to type in environ, and normally that kind of gets you to your environment variables here. We're just going to go into the environment variables. We're going to go down here to path, and we're going to go to edit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get those paths to not only Python, so this right here. We'll put this in our path there. We're also going to add in our scripts to here. Okay, so both of these are now in our variables. We'll hit OK, we'll hit OK again, we'll hit OK again, and we'll just do another quick restart on Eclipse, and hopefully once we've done all that, this should be fixed. Please work. Okay, we'll give Eclipse a second to kind of like catch up to what we're doing, and then we'll hit play on this again. We'll just put in the standard call there for compileUI. And there we go. So all that time, I think I might have, I don't know if I just had to kind of like cancel it out again. Sometimes Eclipse can be a bit weird like this, where it has to like give a second to kind of catch up. But now what we should see is when we hit play, as opposed to having the compile UI not actually being there we go. So we're missing two required arguments, which are our UI file and our output Py file. And that is it. I told you it wouldn't be super smooth. Sometimes you have to do a little bit extra. In this particular case, I think I've kind of like got it down that the environment variables need to be a thing. You need to set up those environment variables. But that is how I get PySide2uic to work. So you can compile UIs and you can, yeah, run them. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful for some people. Again, a little bit janky on the explanation, but we got there in the end. And yeah, if you guys would like to see anything else, just leave a comment or send me a message or something like that. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to show you some cool motion builder stuff in the future. So yep, hope this has been useful for someone. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you in the next video.